All right, good morning. This is Coach Big Pete of Deep Dish Football. Hopefully, this video finally gets through YouTube. I do apologize. I tried yesterday. They said my file was corrupted and I couldn't do it, so I tried it again. File was corrupted, so hopefully this one works. As it is, Deep Dish Football Playoff Game of the Week, Class 2A as EPC, Eastland Pearls. I'm not even going to try to say the whole name. Against Chicago Christian. You got an NUIC Power Team going against Chicago Christian. NUIC Power Team that was 9-0 in the regular season. They beat the likes of a Forreston, Alina Winslow, a Dakota. I mean, they're the big dogs at NUIC. And when you're a big dog at NUIC, basically a top, you could say top echelon conference as the NUIC. That says a lot. On Chicago Christian side, you have Nick Cook, who I was at Westmont. I coached against him in his first year. Was defensive line coach. He has taken that program from the first year to now what he has done. He's made those kids buy into the program, buy into the system, to buy into those principles, and they're doing a wonderful job. They won their first playoff game. They had a great game. They beat Fenton, who rose, who was about to make the playoffs, but they beat a Fenton team, which is mighty impressive for Chicago Christian. Let me actually go back. I'm sorry. Let me go back to Pearl City. Their first game they beat Harlan. They beat Harlan, which was very impressive. Again, I do apologize. They beat Polo, West Carroll. Who else did they beat? Going up top. Yeah, so those were the teams that they beat. They opened up against East Dubuque, 28. Hopefully, this is the correct score, 28-0. If it isn't, I do apologize. Let's talk about Pearl City's players. Very impressive. The Kemple, I think they're twins or they're cousins. I don't know. Very impressed with those guys. I think there was Gerard, who's running back and defensive back, or Jaden, or probably both. I'm very impressed with them. Definitely going to be a huge task for Chicago Christian to stop them. Really impressed with their quarterback. Very impressed with their line. Pretty good size for a line, especially for a 2A team coming out of the NUIC. I think the main thing for them against Chicago Christian is going to be how they match up against Chicago Christian's speed and athleticism. And they have a Division One prospect in Chicago Christian in Griffin, who is an absolute beast. The kid makes plays, no doubt about it. He is a top echelon player. Let me go down to schedule. Go to Chicago Christian. And these are opening remarks. I'll get into a little bit more in the next video. So, Jonathan Griffin, that was who I was talking about. Purnell, Jeffrey Smith, their other quarterback went out. Clark, from now, definitely another kid to keep an eye out for as well. Zachary Edgar, middle linebacker for Chicago Christian. So, again, it's very interesting. I mean, like I said, they have a program now, and I mean, I remember coaching against them, and we had a coach that it was the year before my last year that they had 10 kids on their sophomore team or freshman team, and we had to face their 10 kids. But what Nick Cook has done and what he's done for the program, his principles, and Chicago Christian is unlike any other private schools because how do you say, they can't do what certain private programs can do, and Chicago Christian sticks to their principles and everything else, and they do a great job. And Nick Cook, like I said, he's a part of the honorable mention, but he should definitely get a very clear look, especially towards the IHSA Coaches Association, all that other stuff about Coach of the Year, because he's done a wonderful job building that program at Chicago Christian. Those coaches have done a wonderful job. Those kids, again, I mean, you were talking about, I think it was last year, you had Light at quarterback. He just graduated. And you had, there was two other kids from last year as well. But again, Chicago Christian is a program definitely on the rise as can be seen with the 2A second round playoff game. Now, Pearl City. I'm going to say this again. I consider Pearl City one of the top dogs in 2A, and I will not be surprised if I see Pearl City or EPC. I'm sorry, EPC. If I will not be surprised if I see EPC in the day after Thanksgiving, playing for a state title game. Will not be surprised. I'm just overall, I'm impressed with the play selection, especially them going to a little bit of the run shoot offense, and then sorry about that, going into a little bit of the eye. Very impressed with that. Shocked by that. Very impressed with that. I'm impressed with the fact too. I keep saying impressed. I'm impressed with the fact their players are ability to fit in those formations and to make plays. Quarterback does a great job of reading the defense. Very patient with the ball. If you have a quarterback, especially a senior quarterback, that just is wild-eyed and throws the ball like it's numerous times, you're gonna have turnovers. You're gonna have a bad season. The kid knows how to be patient with the football. So I'll go more into it tomorrow as I talk about EPC versus Chicago Christian coaching points. These were just opening remarks, just not blink remarks, but very bland remarks as I'll go into it tomorrow. But thank you so much. These have been opening remarks for Chicago Christian versus EPC.